What you want, baby, I got it. What you need. You know what? Fuck this shit. I look like Enrique Iglesias right now. I can be your hero, baby. I can kiss away the pain. That's like his signature move. I don't know what the fuck is up. I need a haircut so bad right now. If you're watching the video, I just looked into your soul right now. Sometimes it looks like I'm looking over the video. It's because I'm looking at the monitor right above it. Hashtag behind the scenes. Enrique Iglesias. I was not, for the 1,000th time, even planning on talking about this. But Enrique, I can't even say the fucking name now. Enrique Iglesias. You ever have it when you're trying to say a word over and over and over again? Or you're typing that word and then you're trying to pick a different font for it or something, and then that word just looks weird. No matter what the word is, eventually it just doesn't look normal. You're just like, this isn't a word. That's what's happening with Enrique Iglesias right now. But I would have to say Enrique Iglesias and Ricky Martin shaped my childhood of me being a half white, half Puerto Rican sensation. The Rasian Cajun, half Puerto Rican sensation. Bars. Growing up, living La Vida Loca was my shit. Hero. It made everybody try to be so much more Latin than they really were. Even people who weren't Latin were getting down with the Latin sensation, you know? It was just such a phenomenon. Like, the Livin' La Vida Loca video is such a wild video. And I actually have a bit about this, but I think there's some versions of it online. But talking about how, like, Ricky Martin, maybe I should put it out. Ricky Martin is... Like I made so much stuff of my life, like the style and everything off of Ricky Martin, like fucking button up shirts open with no shirt on underneath. Listen, I was a little tub growing up. I still rocked it. I didn't give a shit. I had confidence. Okay. There was a time I remember I was going to it wasn't even a date. I was like 14 and I was going to go hang out with this girl. My buddy told me, bro, put some baby oil in your hair. And I was like, what? He was like, Ricky Martin's hair is shiny. And I was like, bro, give me that fucking baby oil. And I put baby oil in my hair. Did it work? Your boy got a hickey. So I guess it did. Yeah, there's something to putting baby oil in your hair. That is the weirdest thing, by the way. Is there anything trashier than hickeys? Like, just being honest, I remember there was a time, this is a wild story. It's really not. I was like 14, where it was like this girl and I, we just want to give each other hickeys just to see if it could happen. And I remember I got the biggest hickey ever in my life. And your boy was on a swim team. So it's not like I could just hide it with a turtleneck. You can't jump in a pool with a turtleneck on. Couldn't wear a neck brace to hide it. And it was alarming how big it was. I remember that night I was so freaked out that I was going to get caught, because also, plot twist, your boy's dad was the coach. So my dad was going to see it. And would he even cared? He probably did see it. My dad probably saw so much shit I did growing up and just was just like, this fucking kid, he's living his life. That's one thing that my dad always did, is like, he never tried to cramp my style. He was just like, the kid's got to experience life. So shout out to Pops. I know you're an avid listener. I'm just kidding. He doesn't even know how to put this on his phone, I bet. But I remember that night with a hickey, for the first time I ever had one. I remember I wore a towel out to the pool like I was a goddamn 65-year-old man going into a fucking day spa. It made no sense. But no one asked me about it. No one called me out on, why the fuck did you bring a towel out here? There's a perfectly good locker room. You could leave that in there. But when you're a kid, you don't really think about shit. You're just like, this is going to be the solution. But shout out to Ricky Martin. He still looks good. Listen, he's a man dime, okay? He's a man dime. He looks great. He is aging phenomenal. I think it's all the hip swiveling, you know. That's one thing that Ricky Martin has. And I don't know about Enrique Iglesias. I don't even know what Enrique Iglesias is doing nowadays. You know, is he still making music? But I just remember, I can be your hero, baby. It was all the rage. Latins used to be so respected in the American culture, and now we're just trying to build a wall. Back in the day, they were building a wall out of women's panties, throwing them at Latins, and now they're like barely getting appreciation for picking fruit and shit. Now they're like going out there. Have you guys seen that, where it's like mariachis are going out there and people are just like performing for the people picking fruit in agriculture? And I get it. It's a nice gesture. I support it completely. I love it. I love seeing a culture support our culture. But they have like full on like orchestral groups, bands, I don't know what you call them, an orchestra, go out there and they'll play like this classical music for the people in agriculture picking fruit and vegetables. And you can just see in the video, they're like, okay, this is nice, but they're like, I got fucking ear pods. I'm trying to listen to fucking Wheezy's new album, you know? I appreciate the notion of you being out here trying to play me classical music, but no one really likes that shit. Listen, if someone starts breaking down, like, okay, listen, I'll give you this. There are a few banger classical songs. You have the Fifth Symphony. There's a few of them. There's the one from... it's been used in a Pusha T song, the sample. There's a few that go hard. Requiem for a Dream. There's I'd say top 5. There's like 5 or 6 songs. Moonlight Sonata, even though it's piano, I fucks with it. Classical. Okay, maybe I'm kind of backpedaling a bit. There is some good classical songs. But for the most part, no one, like the point I'm making, no one really listens to classical music. Okay? No one really listens to it. I just gotta make sure this shit's recording right now. Okay, we're good. I would rather just bring us lunch. You know, if I was an agricultural worker, I'd be like, yo, bring me something I can take home. Bring me a new pair of ear pods, okay? Maybe a Amazon Music subscription. Give me your Spotify account or your, Tidal Premium, But you're like playing premium or classical music for me, and it ain't really doing it for me. The violin is not something I can sit here and pick fruit to, It's going to make me ponder life, and then I'm going to get sad and be like, okay, I would try that in college whenever you would hear people say, like, play classical music. But the catch is you're supposed to listen to classical music while you're taking the test. So it never even made sense. Well, we really squeezed that Enrique Iglesias bit to the maximum, all based on my hair. I didn't even know what I was going to start off talking about. Let me see. Oh, man. Souplantation. This isn't really even a current event. I guess it is technically. Is closing. So bummed out. Listen, I think they'll be back. Because they're phenomenal. I don't know what their business model is, if they really can come back, but I'm just bummed out about this. Souplantation is phenomenal, okay? It's like the healthy man's hometown buffet. That's what it is for me. It's like an actual sizzler that doesn't give you diabetes. Like, I think Sizzler should abandon ship and just be like, fuck it. We're just going to give everything to, Souplantation, because they're actually doing something good for the world. And your boy's gluten-free, I hate to break it to you. I know it's hard. I know it's so annoying. I know it. Trust me, I know it. I hate even calling it gluten because I know what it sounds like when I say I'm gluten-free. I try not to even say anything. But the point I'm making, your boy doesn't get to dip his toe in a lot of different foods, as in like pizza crust and bread and all these muffins. And Souplantation was my sanctuary. Why? Because they have a lot of gluten-free muffin options. They got this cornbread. They have this these coconut muffins that they would drop. I'd go on the website, I'd look at what they had in stock, I'd be like, okay, we're going. And your boy had about $100 left on a gift card. So what the fuck do I do with that? Is it a collector's item now? Do I just show it to my kids one day and be like, hey, check out this? There used to be money on this. It's like one of those like old civilizations. Like it's some Mayan money now, where it's like it doesn't hold any value, but it used to be something. Hashtag America. It doesn't hold any value anymore, but it used to be something. I'm just kidding. I just wanted you guys to be confused at what that statement meant. Things are going good in the studio, as you see, if you're watching the video. It's still changing. We're always updating, baby. We're always optimizing and making this shit look better. I'm liking what I have right now, though. It's just I lost a lot of decorating space, you know? I'm the Martha Stewart of this shit. I make shit look good, and it just doesn't have a lot of options in this. But it was too much. I didn't like the harsh lighting of the first episode I put out. It just wasn't good. I like this eerie. It looks like I'm about to tell a camp story right now. Got Mono here with his little tinfoil mask on. I think Mono will wear this until the pandemic is over, and then we'll change his outfit. And I realize that it's Mono, but he's kind of like a gremlin monkey. I think he's more of a monkey, to be honest with you. Like a gargoyle kind of monkey figure. That's how I've always kind of pictured him, having some Mono tendencies, if you will. But yeah, I'm bummed out about Souplantation. Couldn't have came at a worse time when I had $100 to go there, you know? I was frequenting it probably once every 2 weeks leading up to this pandemic, so I definitely got my beak wet with Souplantation on the outro. I just didn't know the last time I went to Souplantation that would be the last time I went to Souplantation. Breaks my heart. I didn't know. But you know what? I ate a lot of coconut muffins. Enough to make a normal man sick. I take down about 6 or 7 every time I go. Okay? I'll be honest with you. And I pretend they're healthy. Here's the thing is like a lot of people get this vegan lifestyle. I don't want to be too harsh on vegans. Okay? We're still on murky waters, relationship wise. But a lot of people go vegan and then they look at the vegan options and they're just like, yeah, that's still vegan. I can eat this marshmallow bag because it's technically vegan, which it probably isn't actually. But insert a random super high sugar processed item and they will eat that and consider it still healthy because it's vegan. But that's how I am with those muffins, because I pretend like there's not a shit ton of sugar in them. It just doesn't have the gluten. So I know I'm living a lie. But so are all you motherfuckers who eat boneless wings. I don't want to get too far into this because I get memes daily about wings. I love that I have become so synonymous with it because it's something I'm passionate about, okay? I'm more synonymous with chicken wings than SeaWorld with animal cruelty. Bars. Just kidding. Had a zoologist on the podcast and she said SeaWorld, not that bad. And I believe her. She got a kind heart and her own podcast now. More synonymous with chicken wings than PETA with animal cruelty. Bars. And we're back. Moving on. I saw yesterday. It's pretty interesting. Just even trying to figure this out. And there's one thing that I've realized that I didn't really take into account. I at least thought people were smarter in the world. Like the everyday person would fact check things and just be a little bit like understand more things. But I think I gave people too much credit. And one of the things I saw yesterday, that was kind of a side note on this, is that the stay-at-home order has been extended to August, I believe, 1st or 31st in LA, which is kind of nuts. I didn't think they were going to open up, and it's obviously going to be different, where they're going to be opening some things. It's not going to be the same stay-at-home orders. But I think what's crazy is I don't necessarily agree that they did it like this, where they said, listen, we're going to be here till August, because I think a lot of people, when you break it down month to month of, okay, we're going to recheck after this month, we're going to recheck after this month, it kind of breaks up the monotony of it and being like, every month we're going to reassess the situation, rather than just dropping a, June, July, a few months, almost like 2.5 months, if it's to August 1st, where you're going to have to stay in. I think they should have done every 30 days and just kept reassessing, because people are going to get stir crazy. People are already stir crazy. We got people out here in fucking Florida doing push-ups on the sidewalk to protest the gym. Bitch, if you are doing push-ups and squats and burpees on the sidewalk to protest why you need your gym open, you're defeating the purpose, you know? It's like you're protesting like, we don't have food, and you're protesting by eating food. You're working out on the sidewalk. You're showing that you don't need the gym. If you want to show that you need the gym, get morbidly obese and go out there with your little picket sign. It just doesn't make sense. It's silly. It's silly. And shame on you, because you know what? You're going to get so many more diseases by doing push-ups on the sidewalk. I know none of you motherfuckers don't wash your hands. People at the gym, disgusting. Disgusting people. I've been in the sauna, and I've seen people like hawk snot rockets out of their nose on the fucking floor. And I'm like, hey, people are walking in here. You know that, right? Oh, I'm sorry. Slurp it up, fuckface. Slurp it up. I think that's one good thing that'll happen after this is we don't go back to normal. Okay, I think it'd be a failure if we went back to normal and acted like things didn't need to change. I think people are going to be a little better about their hygiene and community hygiene, at least for a while. And that's good enough for me, because someone who goes to like jujitsu, like there's no, like, listen, if someone has a cough at the gym, regular gym, I can avoid them. And it's like, we're not in that much of contact, but sometimes someone will be hawking something up, and I'll be rolling with them. Literally, we'll be having contact, and they'll start just coughing, and I'll literally be like, dude, are you sick right now? And they'll be like, I was last week, but I'm not contagious anymore. It's like, how the fuck do you know that? These are the same dudes who's saying it's a plandemic, okay? Everybody is ready to jump on the bus. They're all these medical experts of like, I'm not contagious anymore, but no one wants to accept any medical advice if it doesn't hold their opinion. It blows my mind that people are still sharing this pandemic video. Blows my mind. Anyway, we're talking about the gym and the stay-at-home order. It is kind of crazy. And in Ventura, where I live, is opening up a lot of businesses. We have had actually not that many cases. I think we had 41 confirmed cases in Ventura City, which made up 6% of the cases in Ventura County. And I think we have something like 118,000 citizens or residents in Ventura. So super low numbers. And everybody that, I think we had 19 deaths, and it was everybody had underlying complications. But I don't want to talk about it that much. It's hard for me not to talk about it, because it's like probably the biggest thing going on right now, obviously. But it's like with the stay-at-home orders and everything, whether you think the method is good, whether you think that the virus kills people and it's really as dangerous as they say, the stay-at-home order should feel like it's for no reason, because we shouldn't be seeing an increase. We shouldn't be seeing higher death numbers and everything because people are quarantined and staying at home. If everybody actually followed that, I just had a stroke on the podcast again. God damn it. The virus would disappear if everybody actually quarantined. If everybody froze for 14 days and actually followed like a good disinfectant protocol, it would be gone. Like, do you realize, like, think about it like this. If the first person who got this virus from, whether it was a bat or a pangolin, if they would have been quarantined, let's just say they were out in the middle of the forest, that's where it happened, let's just say that. If they would have just magically disappeared, there would have been no pandemic, at least yet. If that person would have touched another person and they would have got it, and then both those people disappeared without infecting anybody else, it would have disappeared. It would have had no way to survive. But if people are doing like half-ass quarantine and these stay-at-home things and they're not really committing completely to it, we're never going to see actual results from it. Which is why this thing keeps dragging on and on and on. And then you got so much talk about the vaccine, and people think Bill Gates is going to put a 5G tower in you or something like that. I try not to read too much about why they think this dumb shit. No offense to any of my pandemic listeners. But it's just kind of crazy. And I don't think, like, that's the things, we have vaccine for the flu. Why? Because the flu is dangerous. And for a certain age group, it can be a bummer. Like, that's the thing, is like, I do shit on Western medicine a lot because it turned into a big business, and I just don't, it's a big money grab. It shouldn't have been what it is, but it is what it is. But you can't throw the baby out with the bathwater. There's a lot in Western medicine that's great. Someone close to me actually just went to the emergency room because of a bee sting. They were allergic. They got stung in the ear, inside, trying to be assassinated by a murder hornet. They had to go to the emergency room. Their throat was closing, lips swollen, palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy, the whole 9 yards. And they had to go to the ER. And if it wasn't for Western medicine and epinephrine and Benadryl, they would have died. So shout out to Western medicine. Listen, a lot more people would die without vaccines. Why was Bill Gates actually ever in Africa? What was he trying to do? Bill Gates has been trying to give Africa clean drinking water for years. He's been doing a lot of great work. He's been trying to build healthy sanitation, like bathrooms and everything, in Africa for years. Whether he's the best person for this vaccine and whatever's going on, I don't know. But as far as vaccines go, there's nothing wrong with them. You should get some kind of immunity to certain things so you don't die. It doesn't mean that they're gonna, like, what, I don't get it. I don't even want to go down this rabbit hole because it makes me lose brain cells. So we're just gonna move on. Jerry Stiller, Ben Stiller's dad, passed away. Rest in peace. Bums me out. He was in I don't know if it was in was he in? No, he wasn't in that one. I don't know if he was in Meet the Parents too. That I don't know. But he was in Zoolander. He's been in a few of Ben Stiller's movies. Ben Stiller is a phenomenal actor, phenomenal producer, director. Go back and watch. This is going to be the movie homework for the quarantine. Go back and watch Tropic Thunder, Meet the Parents, Dodgeball. He has so many bangers. Happy Gilmore, he was in there. I haven't seen it in a while. Heavyweights. You guys remember that? Heavyweights, the Fat Camp. They couldn't make that movie today. I love that movie. You know what that movie did to me, which is bad? It gave me positive reinforcement about being fat when I was a kid. I was like, oh, this is tight. I can be a heavyweight. Look how cool these kids are. And I started a candy stash as a kid based off of that movie. Messed me up. I also saw another actor, Robert Pattinson. Is that his name? Pattinson. He was good in, what was that movie? I don't know if he actually was good in it. It was a weird fucking movie. The Lighthouse. I don't know if you guys ever saw that. That is a weird fucking movie. It's one of those real artsy-fartsy movies that's supposed to have a lot of hidden things going on behind it. The reason why I didn't necessarily like that movie, there's some cool scenes, but I don't like when a movie doesn't have a solution at the end. It feels lazy. There's like a lot of Greek mythology interpretation left up in it where I'm just like, man, give me a bow on this movie. Let me figure out, let me have a little bit of something rather than like, it was almost like a choose your own adventure movie. But I saw that he didn't want to work out for the role of Batman. And he had this huge thing how if you're one of these actors who work out for a role, then you're part of the problem. And I was just like, what? How is that any different than getting in character for a role, like actually learning how to box, like a Daniel Day-Lewis who became a boxer. He like lived a boxer lifestyle for like 9 months for a movie he was a boxer in. Or he like became it wasn't a shoe, it was like a shoe shiner, someone who made shoes, and he went and did it for like 6 months and lived in a house with cobblestone in Italy just to learn how to do it so he could actually bring authenticity to the role. I fucks hard with Daniel Day-Lewis. Gangs in New York, bars. If you ain't seen Gangs in New York, go see that shit. But I feel like this is so silly of Robert Pattinson, and you know what it is? He's just lazy. I think it's just being lazy. Because you know what? No one believes, like, remember the old school Batman? I never even saw it, but he had zero muscle tone. There is no way he's stopping someone from robbing a bank, okay? It just, look at The Rock. Like, when The Rock does something in an action movie and, like, kicks someone and they go through a door, I'm like, okay, I believe that. Even though, okay, I get it, it's not real, but I believe it. I believe that he could do that in that movie character. But if Robert Pattinson comes in malnourished to play Batman and he tries to like rappel up a building, I'd be like, he has no upper body strength. He's not holding on to that right now. God forbid he actually has to carry someone in that movie. But like, dude, he like, are they just gonna have a stunt double in there who's like jacked and he's just all spaghetti arms? It just doesn't make any sense. Especially saying that you're part of the problem. This is like protesting on the sidewalk that you need to work out while you're working out. It's literally the exact opposite, but same thing. I feel like just with that, it annoyed me. It annoyed me because he was referring to like James Dean, saying that they had like no muscle tone back then. I think it's just like some people, they try so hard to be like a thespian actor where they're just so deep in it and want it to be about the playing the role. But dude, do that when you're playing an accountant, you know, when you're playing a lawyer, not when you're playing Batman. Batman? You don't want to work out to be Batman? Listen, dude, of all the roles, okay, listen, if you want to have that belief system, listen, you're an American, you're a human being, you have your rights to think whatever you want to be, freedom of speech. But listen, you signed up for the role of Batman, okay? You can't just play that role and not get Jack City, okay? Maybe you should play Joker because you're a goddamn joke to me now, okay? And I respected you in Twilight. I read the books. I'm not ashamed to admit it. I'm not ashamed to admit it. I read Twilight. I saw the movies. Did you tell, what was his name? The Wolf Boy. Some girl name. I know it's a girl name. Taylor Lautner. Did you tell Taylor that he was part of the problem when he got Jack City to play that Wolf Boy? No, I bet you didn't. So much contradiction. I also saw, this is, I hope this person doesn't listen to the podcast. It's going to be real funny if they do, though. I'm sure other people that listen to this have done this too. I think it's silly when people announce their retirement from social media. They act either 2 ways, 3 ways. It's probably a few more. We'll see where this goes. A lot of times they act like they're Jordan winning a championship and they're just like, hey guys, like they're retiring after they won a bunch of championships. They're just like, hey guys, I appreciate the memories. I appreciate everything you guys have given to me. But given the circumstances of the league and the team owners, I'll be officially retiring from Facebook. Or another way they act is like they're breaking up with us and they need to give us a bunch of reasons. It's never like, I respect the ones that go, all right, Facebook, I'm out. Deuces. And that's it. And then they're gone. But a lot of times they treat it like they're breaking up with us and they leave paragraphs of why. Hey guys, I just want to start this off by saying I still love you and I love what we had and what we used to be. And that's kind of why I hung on for so long, okay? But all I've been seeing and feeling is negativity and blah, blah, blah. And it's not good for my mental health if we continue this relationship. And because of that, I'm no longer on Instagram. I don't get it. I don't get it. Or the third one is they pretend they're much better than you. They pretend like they're on a holier than thou mission and they're rising above the slums of that is social media. And I mean, I kind of agree with that, but I'm a slum dog, okay? I'm a slime ball. I'm out here in the slums, the slime just turning over and memes just eating them. I'm a meme Pac-Man. Waka, 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 waka. Just eating memes all day. I fucking love them. Okay? They power me. I don't mind being in the slime. I'm like that little, you know that part in A New Hope Star Wars where they get lost in that thing and then they're like in the trash thing and it's like shutting, but there's like liquid and then there's a one little monster eyeball that comes up and it looks around and then it wraps up Luke Skywalker. That's me. That's me swimming around on social media, not giving a shit. I know what I am. I'm slime in here, okay? I'm the foundation. I'm what lurks below the dark water, just consuming memes and shit. And you know what you are? People who want to leave, you're boneless wings to me. You're some of them B-dubs, and I don't respect you. And if you want to go. Go live your fucking boneless life. I don't give a shit. You spineless. But you know what? They always come back. That's the thing. You couldn't leave. What is it that Thanos says? You couldn't deal or you couldn't live with your own failure. And where did that lead you? Back to memes. Yeah, you're back. You will be back in 6 months. And y'all want to act like you just went on a spiritual guided trail through the Appalachian Mountains, okay? The great wilderness that you went and were a monk for 9 months. All you did was just get your memes on Google, okay? Don't act like you haven't seen anything online. But people want to act like they're a new person when they come back. They got their hair dreaded. Now they have a bead in their hair. And now they wear rings. Listen, some people who wear like 3 or 4 rings on their fingers, I don't know about that. I barely will want a wedding ring one day. And you best believe that shit's going to be like rubber. And maybe be a blow pop. You know, it has to have some functionality for me. Maybe it can tell time. I'll get a little miniature watch on there. I don't give a shit. Maybe it will tell me when like people with coronavirus are near. It'll just glow a different color. That'd be sick. But people are silly on the internet. That is so weird to me. This isn't even a podcast. This is just me speaking my mind. This is what you signed up for. This is 7 minutes in Evan. Okay, this is what goes through my head. This is the great thing about this podcast for me is it lets me just say this shit and then I get feedback from people who are like, dude, say it. And it makes me happy. It makes me realize I'm not alone on this fucking planet. Okay? I would get that feedback on stage doing stand-up, which now it seems like I'm not going to be able to do stand-up for months. So I'm going to have to figure out something. Your boy might go back to music. I've been feeling it. It's been in the back of my head. Start doing more podcasts, more video stuff. But I would get that feedback on stage when I would say something fucked up and I'd be like, okay, is this enough to laugh at this? Are we all going to have a giggle at this? And it was always like when people laugh at a joke, it's like a ha, I get it. But the only time I did a bunch of vegan material and it was in a pretty liberal area and they were not happy with it. They were not happy with it at all. I forget what I was even saying. It was something about malnourishment, not too much fiber, and how I was gonna rot in hell. And I was like, I'll enjoy rotting in hell while you shit yourself from all that fiber. No one should have that much fiber. That's just me being real. But I'm gonna end you with that note. Don't have too much fiber, ladies and general. Dude, I had a stroke. At some point during this podcast, I had a stroke. Probably early on. But if you have topics, if you have something that you want me to talk about more, There's not many trending topics going on in the world right now other than coronavirus, and I try to stay away from it. But if you have any notes, let me know. Unless it's like, dude, be better. All right? But I hope you have a glorious weekend. And remember, no matter what, I love you.